tea. The good morning light is here. It's time to start the day. Yeah, it's time to start the day. Start the day. It's time to start the day. It's time to start the day. Faith and tea. Good morning. It is the day, and I will start the day. It's time to start the day. It's time to start the day. Faith and tea. Good morning. It is the day, and I will rejoice. Faith views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or host. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by the channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. And yes, we are rejoicing and glad to be a part of it. If you could just do me a favor this morning and hit that like, share, and comment. And also do me another favor, and that's tag somebody. Tag somebody and tell them Faith and Tea is on. It is Wisdom Wednesday, and we know that Brother G will be joining us shortly to drop a few nuggets on us as we try to bridge the gap, because there is a gap. You can say what you want, but there is a gap between us seasoned folks and our younger folks. And so we want to make sure that we stay in tune with what's going on. Each generation has its own set of rules and regulations. And of course, with social media platforms now, I tell you, you have to be on top of what's going on. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, good morning, Pastor Anna Lyons. God bless you as always. Thank you for joining us this morning. To my son, Abram, God bless you. Listen, while that song is playing, Faith and T song is playing, I'm just over here, I'm just moving. It is You did it, man. I appreciate that. I see I got Pastor Fred from Africa, from Kenya is on this morning. As always, a very strong supporter. And yes, we are doing what we need to do to make sure that we get there. Uh, I also see Elder Richard Clark, my friend, my buddy, my ace boon coon. God bless you. Thank you for joining this morning. To Evangelist Rosemary Townsend. God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm just excited. I'm here. Of course, I'm out of town. I had to come to Maryland to take care of some business. As many of you all know, I still keep a Maryland address for business purposes. And so had to come up here and take care of some business, and decided to stay an extra day. We would have been on the road heading back. I got my riding partner with me, Mother uh, Polly Ann Brown, her whole government name. I got her riding with me. She's down there with Charlie right now. So we will be hitting the road tomorrow morning, heading back to the Big A. And I'm going to just go ahead and tell you, I hadn't reached out to Abram yet, but he can hear. He's on here. He can hear. So Mother Polly Brown is going to be our inspirational speaker on this coming Friday. So pass the word out. She's just got so much in her, and I want to make sure that we allow her to share as much as she can. This has been a month where I've used ladies all month long. I don't know if you've noticed, but they have been coming strong. And and it's one of those things I just want you all to understand. It's one of those things where I just don't wake up and say who I want to get. The Lord definitely has been in my corner, helping me to choose people as a whole. And I think each week that they come out, each week that we have had inspirational. Matter of fact, each day that we're on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I believe the Lord meets us here. You'd be surprised how many people comment and share with us and talk to us. Pastor Sean and I was talking the other day, and he was just mentioning how um, he's out a lot of times, and people come up to him and mention to him that they see him. And so we appreciate each and every one of you all, and for all those that come back and watch it at a later time. We know for some people they're at work and they might can't be on, or whatever the reason, but they do come back and watch. And so we appreciate that. Not with some, as I always say, not with some of our heart, but with all our heart. And so we thank God for that. But we have we're definitely in um, these next 4 months of mine. Lord have mercy. We're going to be really busy. I just had to share with somebody just my schedule just on next week alone. I will be on the road, and then traveling with I'll be traveling with Bishop, and then getting back to help set up for his weekend. And so God has been gracious to us. He's given us the strength to do that, and we appreciate the opportunities that God has done. A lot of times we don't understand, but Pastor Sean Brock brought something to my attention when Lady Cheryl transitioned. He said that God knows. He knew you were gonna be here, and He has been true to His word, just in giving me the strength and the fortitude to continue to push on and to do His work. Who would have ever thought that I would be doing international ministry? Hello, somebody. But God knew, and that's the thing that we always have to understand, and that's why I'm always encouraging each and every one of us to constantly do what God has called you to do. It's time out for blaming other people. I hope I'm helping somebody this morning, but it's time out for blaming other people. You know that you have more to do than what you're doing. Hello, somebody. And here's the key behind it. I'm convinced that anything that God puts on your plate, He also gives you the ability to be able to do it. Did I say something to somebody? I'm telling you what I know. Sometimes it looks like my body would be tired because of all the ripping and running that I'm doing, but those seem like the days that I'm more stronger than ever. God bless you, Dr. Grimes. God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. It seems like the more that I do, the stronger I get. Did you hear what I just said? And so I want to encourage you all these next 4 months finishing out this year to do your part. Don't get out of the rearview mirror. We going forward. So get out of the rearview mirror and look forward and watch what God is going to do. We've got things on our plate that realistically, for the average person, they would be like, "Whoa, how are you going to do that, God?" When somebody actually said, "Oh, just God," that's how I'm gonna do it, because God has assigned me to do it. And one thing, and I I remember when I was in school. Matter of fact, right now I've got some work. When I get back home, I've got to get some certifications done, and a lot of times we procrastinate. Yes, I'm going to be transparent today. Sometimes we be comfortable, or we putting stuff off to the side knowing that it's got to be done, and then all of a sudden we're in a rush mode where I'm not rushing, but I am putting my back up against the wall and saying, hold up, you don't have time to play around now, because you got to get this stuff done. And I share this with people all the time, that when you have an assignment, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and knock it out, because guess what? While you're procrastinating with that assignment, it's something else going to come on your plate also. That's just how life happens. So never get so comfortable that you can sit back and just wait, like you got all this time, because time is just something that God allowed us to have, because He doesn't deal in time. And that's where we a lot of times mess up, because we think that we've got all this time, and in reality, we don't. And so I want to encourage you today to make sure that these next few days that's left in this year, because that's all it is. It seems like every time we turn around, we're saying we're at the end of the month, we're at the beginning of the month. So here we are at the end of the month. This month is over. And so whatever that has not been done, I'm not saying it can't be completed in the next couple of days, but one thing I can say is that we're heading into a new month, the ninth month of the year. And I encourage each and every one of you all to step up and do your part. Make sure that you finish this year out strong. God bless you, Pastor Brock, for joining us this morning. But yeah, make sure that we do our part these next couple of months, because before you look up, we'll be in another year. Did you hear what I just said? And sometimes when we're talking, we look right back and say, man, the year just started. Well, this year, if the truth be told, we're way past the halfway mark. So this year is definitely over. Did you hear what I just said? And when I say over, I'm not saying that we can't take care of things. What I'm saying is the fact that whatever you was planning to do in those other 8 months and haven't done, it's time to wrap that up and get on the ball. I know I'm talking to somebody today because I'm talking to myself. And I know I got some preachers on here that always say that generally whenever something comes out of our mouth, it applies to us first. And so I just want to, like I say, encourage us to step up. Don't get, listen, here's what I want to say. Don't get nervous. Don't say you can't do it and this, that, and the other, because I'm convinced. And the word back as Pastor Greg would tell Pastor Sean, he say put some Bible on it. I am convinced that we can do all things. That's what I heard on Sunday at Pastor Brock's. The young man say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so when we understand that he is the head of our life, and if we recognize him in that manner, then the rest is all we got to do is follow the plan. Like I tell people all the time, we don't have to create it. We don't have to try to figure it out. All we have to do, and I see Pastor Sean say, obedience aligns you with the grace of God to do and to finish. And that is so true. If we're obedient, everything else is going to fall. I understand this much, that and I know I got some witnesses on the line, that the majority of the time that when things don't work out in our favor, it's because we deviated from the plan. Woo! Did you hear what I just said? I'm not saying all the time, but I can definitely say the majority of the time when things don't work out, 99%, 99.9%, when it does not work out, and I'm talking about when your alignment, when you say you're aligned with God. I share this all the time. I say I just want to be. I used to say I want to be in His will, but I changed that. I say I want to be in His perfect will. So what does that mean? That when I wake up in the morning and I say, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. From that point on, all I have to do is walk in the steps that He's ordered for me. Woo! Talking to somebody this morning. I don't have to try to create it or anything. All I have to do is, as Pastor Sean say, be obedient to what He instructs me to do. And so what does that mean? That means that I'm going to acknowledge Him in all my ways, not some of them, not when things are going good, because a lot of times, and I've shared this before, I remember when I used to actually work in the office, when I would have to drive up to Baltimore to our office, I literally would, before I put on whatever I was going to wear, I would ask the Lord, what should I put on today? Because my goal was, if I start my day off acknowledging Him, that everything else throughout the day was going to be okay. And I can tell you, and this is not me just trying to say something to talk, but I could truly tell you, the days that I followed that plan right there were my best days. Did you hear what I said? Those were the best days that I had in reaching people and educating them on insurance. I tell people all the time, I don't sell insurance. I just educate people on what insurance is about. I let you make the decision on that, on whether you want to leave your family, be a burden when you leave here, or you want to be a blessing when you leave here. Because the truth to the matter is, all of us are going to go at some point in time. I've heard people say, well, I don't need it because I'm going to be caught up in the rapture, and all that's fine if that's what you believe. But I still say put a policy on yourself. I don't know why I went that way, but you need to put a policy on yourself so that your family don't have that burden. Hello, somebody. But I am convinced that we are in the best time of our lives right now. Why am I saying that? Because things that's around us is going. If you have been paying any attention to what's going on, We've got somebody in office that feels that he keeps throwing that word dictator out. That some people say, some people, but listen, he think he can do any and everything that he big enough and bad enough to do. But I serve a God that, hey, listen, one thing about it, he's going to protect his. And I'm telling you right now that if anything, it is time for us to get right with God. I see my man just popped on, so let me get him on in here so that we can hear what he's got to say for us today. And here we go. Good morning, brother G. How you doing today, sir?
What's going on?
All right, all right, all right. I've just been I've been talking till you got here, but now I'm going to turn it over to you. I think on yesterday evening you did tell me you had something that you wanted to talk about. So let's talk about it. What you got?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, how do you overcome fear?
How do you overcome fear? Is it a particular fear that we're talking about, or are we talking about it just in
No,
general?
just how do we overcome? How do you overcome fear?
Well, first of all, and I've got some preachers on here, and I'm gonna look at the comments that they put in there, or anybody else that wants to put in there. But fear is of the devil. That's the first thing that we have to understand. And so I'm just convinced that there's a part of fear that God puts in us. In other words, some people are afraid of different types of animals or afraid of different things, and that's part of the makeup of who God put in us. God bless you, Mother Feaster. But to actually be fearful of something means that you are not. I would say depending and trusting God.
Hmm.
One of the things that I always say, and I'll give it back to you. One of the things I always say, there's two things how I look at life: the things that I can control and the things that I can't control. And so if I can't control it, then it's on God. If I can control it, then it's on me. And so I would say one of the ways to eliminate that spirit of fear is to make sure that you line up. Before you came on, I was talking about staying in the perfect will of God. And so I'm just convinced that if you stay in the will of God, then for one, He's going to lead and guide you. He's gonna direct your path. And so most of the time I would say this, and I want some comments to come in here, that fear is going to be because you drifted off the road. And when I say road, I'm not physically talking about the highway, this, that, and the other. I'm talking about you drifted off your path. And so if you stay in the will of God, I'm quite sure He will direct your path. Come on back in. I don't see you. Where you at? Yeah, it disappeared. Yeah. So that would be my take. I'm looking to see if anybody else is gonna comment. I got some preachers on here. I'm gonna see if they're gonna comment, but that would be my take on it. That fear is first of all of the devil, and that our goal is to stay in the will of God, and so the two can't mix. In other words, if you're trusting God, then you don't have to worry about it. A lot of times when we say we're trusting God, we say it out our mouths, but our actions don't back up what we believe. What you got?
No, I mean this wasn't for me to talk. This is for me to learn. I mean, I'm not gonna
Oh,
come on
okay.
here
All
every
right.
day
Well,
for
let's
me.
let's 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 see.
I'm
Let's
trying to
see.
learn.
No, they haven't put anything in there, but yeah, but that would be my take on it. And the thing of it is, and to keep a true prayer life. One thing about it, and there we go. Pastor Sean came with John. I told you he'll put some Bible on it in a minute. John 1, 4 and 18. There's no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. And that's basically what we're saying, that when you and then let me see, I see Pastor Anna Lyons put something out. I'll read what she says. Reframe your thinking, challenge negative through and replace I think thoughts, and replace them with more positive, realistic ones. That's what I'm saying. As I said, that the things that you can control, and those things that you can't, turn them over to God. A lot of times, our biggest problem is we only use God, and I hate to say it this way, but it's the truth. And I know I got some witnesses on here. We only use God when we need Him versus having God in our life as a constant. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, when I wake up in the morning, I say, "This is the day that the Lord has made." I actually understand that this day did not have to happen for me. And for many of people, believe it or not, many of people laid down last night and did not wake up this morning. And so I reverence God right from the beginning of the day. We start our day off, those that follow us know, we start our day off, thank God for the pastor that I serve under, with 6 o'clock prayer, Monday through Friday. So the thing of it is prior to you coming on, and I said, in all thy ways acknowledge him. When we put God first in our life, it moves, in other words, it blocks any room for fear to come in. You follow what I'm saying? But when you got some empty space anywhere, it's almost like that thing where you apply for a job. Let's just use that for example. You apply for a job, and you go in there and you feel that you did a good job and everything, and then on your way back to the car, stuff start playing through your head. Oh, I should have said this. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I should have put this on my, and you start beating yourself up. And by the time you get home, you are totally wore out. You follow what I'm saying? But the truth to the matter is, if you from jump on your way, Father, look, I need this job. And I know that I'm qualified. Why? Because you've given me the ability. You've poured into me the ability to do this job. Now, when I walk into this interview, God, I ask that you give me the words and the wisdom to be able to articulate what they're asking, and that when I walk out, I'm trusting that I'm going to have this job. Boom. Now, from that point on, it ain't no sense of worrying that walking back to the car. Ain't no sense of you talking about, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, because your prayer should have overrode all that. You follow what I'm saying? But we get we get intimidated by our own actions a lot of times. And the reason I think we get intimidated by our own actions a lot of time is because, the truth be told, we know that we're not where we should be. And that's not a put down on anybody. That's just for all of us to do a self evaluation on our own selves and say, am I truly doing what God has called me to do? Am I reading my Bible faithfully? Do I have a prayer life? Am I fasting on a consistent basis? Am I causing my body to be subjective to the will of God? And when we start doing those type things right there, then God will work it out. Let's see what Pastor Brock said. He said, uncertainty often brings fear. Fear can be addressed by remembering that nothing catches God. I always like what he said, that nothing catches God by surprise. Remember, let me see what he says. Let me see. He said, remember, God loves you and can work all things out for your good. Perspective matters. And that is so true. He always reminds me when we're having our conversation. He says, nothing surprises God. It's intentional. And the truth be told, a lot of the things that we miss out on is because we don't line up with God's intentions. Hello, somebody. When we get to that see, we deal in the chromos time, but when we get to that kairos time, God's perfect timing, things fall in our place. We have a tendency a lot of times to say, when things don't work out, then it must not have been the will of God. I bind that spirit right now. I'll tell you right now, get that out of your spirit. That does not mean because it did not work, it did not happen, that it wasn't the will of God. No, what it means a lot of times is you weren't lined up with it. Hello, somebody. You weren't ready for it. So that's why sometimes we have to go back to a self-evaluation so that we can line ourselves up. It's almost like, why would God bless you? Here we go. And I know I probably get y'all probably hit the off button when I say this. But why would God bless you with $1 million? And in your mind, you say, yeah, because when he blessed me with this, I'm gonna pay my tithes, and you're not paying your tithes off the dollar. You're not paying your tithes off the $10, the $100, the $1,000. Come on, talk to me this morning. So it's a lot of times that we are out of the will of God. I'm not talking about your salvation. I'm not taking your salvation from you. But what I'm saying is you have veered off. And sometimes I talk about how that GPS works. You have veered off the road. And now you are not aligned with God. And that's why sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes that's why it doesn't line up. But listen, as long as you do the will of God, all that I've said today, Brother G, because fear is of the devil. But if you put God first in your life, if you increase your prayer life, if you increase your reading, if you uh, commit to a fast or fasting, yeah. If you and you show up in church, I guarantee you that fear will have to move out of the way. Why? Because now you're filling yourself with proper things. Listen, our time is about gone. It's time for us to move on. Folks got to get to work. Some of y'all got to lay back down. Some of y'all got errands to run. I ask that you all keep us in prayer. Brother G, I will be heading back home on tomorrow. Um, so look forward for me to be there tomorrow. I will be home tomorrow. You all continue to keep us in prayer. Keep me and mother in prayer as we get on the road early in the morning. And she's an excellent riding partner. That's why I let her ride with me, because she keep you company the whole time. She took a little, she checked the inside of her eyelids for a second or two, but otherwise she rode with me, and we just enjoyed as we always do enjoy ourselves. So we're going to chime on out right now. Keep our Kenya family in prayer. Keep Pastor Sean and Pastor Brooks, who definitely worked with me diligently. Brother G worked with me diligently and allowing us to do what we do. We enjoy this so much. I know I do. And so continue to keep us in prayer. We got some things coming up. Remember, this Friday, Mother's going to be on, and then Monday we will not be on because of the holiday. But when we come back the following Monday, we got something for y'all. We're adding something else to the platform, and I think it's going to be really exciting. We love you, not with some of our heart, with all our heart. Continue to keep us as we do the will of God. You all have a phenomenal rest of the day. And remember, fear is of the devil. We already know that. So the one thing we're not going to do is let the devil take advantage of. God bless you. G, I love you, man. We'll talk later.
Okay.